up, YouTube? We're finally back from vacation, finally back from Disney World, back on the setup, and I'm glad to be back. Today we're talking about a lot of ALGS drama, like a lot. Like grab your popcorn, grab your Glytch energy, and sit down, enjoy this one, because it is going to be a lot to uncover. We're also talking about Apex Legends coming out and saying why you need to be using the reporting feature that is in the game for you. And we're also talking about a feature that they recently added that I feel like they should have never added because it's not having a good effect on the game. And most people do agree with me on this. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new as always. Without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So the first thing that I wanted to mention here, this was coming from the ALGS scene, and boy, was it a lot of drama, but my goodness, it is a lot to unfold. So make sure to buckle your seatbelts and enjoy this one because it is going to take some time. So this was actually all deleted by Madness, and I knew it was going to be, so I already screenshotted everything, I do believe. Hopefully I did. Where's my phone? Yes, I did. Let's go. So he said, keep throwing your tournaments and contesting me, you moron, talking about Presley over on E8, and basically Presley responds, trying to just troll because he's under contract here, so he's trying not to get too much into it. But Madness is like, you know, you do be playing for free, and Presley's like, you realize I'm under a contract, do you just make up lies to make yourself feel better, or the only thing that is free is the amount of time that you have to continue this thread, since no human would ever want an interaction with an incel like you. They continued this conversation though, and Madness was like, well, it must have cut deep because you've been competing for the last 2 years and have amounted to nothing. Very strong words coming from Madness, considering, you know, he's not really amounted to anything either. All your biggest achievement was playing on the Team Pringle. So I guess I can understand why that you're ticked off. I'd be upset too, knowing that I wasted 2 years of my life and have nothing to show for it. And then it goes on and on, Presley basically proving his point as to why Madness wants to keep responding to all of this. Madness eventually just completely deleted all of these tweets, and one of the responses is that a random person responded to Madness here, was saying, bro, your whole entire old roster is doing better without you, Lou and Vax, and you've been completely irrelevant for the past 2 years. If you guys don't know, Madness has been trying to compete but basically cannot find a team. There's always switching teams, cannot find a consistent second and third. This guy has always been so unstable. Back in season 2 when I had first started playing ranked and I was trying to pursue a competitive career, this guy was just absolutely on his wits end, just banning everybody in his chat. I actually got banned in his Twitch chat all because I put him in a ranked game and he thought that the play that we made was so stupid that surely we were just stream sniping, surely we were just trying to grief their game because he's a big streamer. The guy has just always been on something. I'm not really sure what's wrong with him, honestly. I think he's been just holding on to that 1v3 clip that he hit against Shroud back in season 2, and ever since then he just thinks that he's better than everybody else, and it's never his fault. What was so crazy though is after this, it wasn't just this drama. Then people started to come out and started to roast him because of DMs that he's had with females in the community. I thought this was crazy because after he blocked Presley, then there was tweets coming out from Allie saying, look, here's an application to become an employee for the UPS store. And then after that, she leaked direct messages of them, and this guy is such a weirdo, and this is where he really started to get a lot of hate. This is where a lot of people were like turning their back on him, like, okay, you know, Madness is definitely not a part of my crew. No one's really associating with him anymore. A lot of the pro players are calling him out. A lot of the fans don't even like him anymore because of this stuff. And this is where people were starting to quote Madness because he says, I am a freak here. In this response though, in this DM, she's like, are you a Gemini? He's like, yeah, here's my birthday, blah, blah, blah. They're like, you know, we're superior, we're Geminis, blah, blah, you know, just a casual conversation, whatever. But then he's like, I am crazy and a freak, but I like it that way. So like, what the heck just happened, bro? You can tell that's where she got really uncomfortable in the conversation, and she's just like, yeah, Geminis have more fun for sure. And it just kind of died off. Then he starts talking about how girls say that he's so hot and all of this stuff. Like, bro, what? But Madness took it a step further. Almost forgot to mention this after Triceratops said, not Madness calling Presley irrelevant when EA reached champs, and he's had multiple rosters. EA Mercy Only also said, I hope your tweet blows up here. And then you had this post. It was a picture of Madness's Discord where Madness basically showed this tweet of Triceratops saying it and basically said, I hope this tweet blows you up. We loved having you here, but screw you and screw yourself. And he's saying that to Sarah, who's also a tournament admin for Battlefight, which is like the qualification thing I think you have to do for ALGS. I mean, this guy is just absolutely on something. That guy has always been a weirdo. He's completely private now. You can't see any of his tweets, and basically just like so many people in the pro community are just like turning their back on him. They want nothing to do with him. And I just want to say this video was 1 minute from being published, and I literally scrapped it all so that I could add these brand new screenshots. Madness made a tweet saying, you know, trash talk me, trash talk my career. I deserve that and I can take it. Now it's people who preach positivity making fun of me because I have flirted with them over a year ago. Sorry that they flirted with me, so I flirted back. There's two sides to every story, but telling both won't get them attention. Now, I just want to say here, obviously, if people preach positivity, they have every right in the world to still critique weird behavior. I mean, I don't understand why people always are looking for a way to bring down people who are trying to be positive. Just because you are always preaching positivity does not mean you are not allowed to say, hey, you know, that's absolutely ridiculous over there, and this person is crazy for doing that. I mean, the world is not sunshine and rainbows. You don't just get to walk around and just saying everything is just so lovely and wonderful all the time. obviously, you know, reality still hits. I basically retweeted his tweet saying exactly that. Then he reached out to me in his direct messages showing all of these messages that he had with these females, also basically making an entire tweet out of them saying, you know, obviously they are flirting with me here back, and that's all I was doing. So I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to decide how exactly you feel about this exposure that these girls are trying to do on him, and do you feel like it's justifiable? Does he have the right to be under the impression that these girls were flirting first, therefore he can flirt back? I mean, I think we can all agree that the way he spoke in the DM is very cringe. You know, anybody saying that all these girls think I'm so hot or that I'm just a freak and I like it like that, I mean, that is just so beyond cringe. And I think we could all pretty much agree the way he was acting with the pro player situation was kind of weird as well. But when it comes to this actually being in the wrong with these females, I'm interested to see what you guys have to say down in the comments below. There's a lot of screenshots to go through, but maybe at the end of the day, things are not just so clear cut and obvious. Obviously, like you said, there's two sides to every story. You need more context. So yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. So I just thought that was absolutely insane to see in the news. But something else that we're also seeing in the ALGS community is Sore Hollow apparently got disqualified. I was actually watching this tournament last night, the Monster Energy 25k. The Glytch team also played in that as well, and I was noticing that there was a player in there named Hollow, and apparently they were saying that he got banned or got removed from the tournament because he was, quote, cheating. Now Hollow was teaming with Kimchi Lee, and basically the response that the admin gave here was saying that we had multiple spectators watching your matches and have concluded that one of the players on there was cheating, and thus your team has been disqualified. So some absolutely crazy news and drama in the ALGS pro community this week. But we're also talking about something today that I want to bring to light, and that is a feature that Apex Legends has added recently that I absolutely think was a waste of time, and matter of fact has probably been hurting the game in my personal opinion, and that is the fact that they added those laser sights. I made this tweet yesterday. It got a lot of approval. A lot of people are agreeing here, saying that, you know, when I said laser sights were completely unnecessary to add. Most of the people saying here down in the comments though were like, you know, basically like, this is just cluttering up the loot pool. There's too much in there. Basically now this is making the loot even worse, and it really doesn't provide that much crazy of a difference than what barrel stabilizers used to do. And you also consider it makes the hip fire better, but they also made the natural hip fire worse on the gun. So like, what even is the purpose of this thing? Like, I mean no disrespect whatsoever, but if you've been sitting around the past couple of months thinking of a new thing that you could add to the game, and if you're a developer, you're doing this full time, I'm really not trying to just bash you here, but how is the best idea that you can come up with a laser sight which serves a very similar purpose of what the barrel stabilizer already does? It's not very common on the ground. It's cluttering up the loot pool. It doesn't really provide that much of a benefit to have on your gun, considering that people can see the laser. Maybe they have some type of data that they can look at to say, hey, it's actually a good idea that we added this laser sight because it's providing this experience that we wanted. I just don't really feel like it does much, to be honest with you. Hip firing still feels just as easy in my personal opinion, with or without it. Don't really care to see the laser sight on my gun. Personally, I just feel like this thing was a waste to even add. Most of the people in the comments of this tweet that I made kind of agreed with me. So if you guys have any like better opinion or better idea as to why this thing is actually beneficial for the game, I'm definitely all ears. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. I just personally feel like there's no argument that you can make that actually makes sense as to why this thing needs to be in the game. It's just totally unnecessary. Now, speaking of things being completely unnecessary, Tyler Owens, a developer over at Apex Legends for Respawn Entertainment, the build engineer, actually gave us something that we've always thought is unnecessary in the game, but actually telling us that it's not, and why you need to be using this feature all the time. This is coming from his Twitter, saying if you're playing Apex Legends and encounter a reportable offense, please use the in-game report tool every single time. Even if you're convinced that it does absolutely nothing, I promise you in most cases it's just as effective as DMing a dev, if not more effective. Plus it provides important info. He also said report them and have your duo report them as well, and if you see them in the next game, report them again, especially if they're cheating, have an offensive name, etc. Every time I watch a content creator accuse someone of cheating or smurfing without reporting them, I die a little inside. Basically, he said that the reporting feature gives them a lot of information that they can see. I guess it makes like some kind of automated ticket or something, that basically you can't see that information just by DMing someone. While we're talking about people that are associated with Apex Legends, let's talk about what Zilbrad said just yesterday, calling out someone who works over at EA. He said, I waited over for 2 years, had contact from EA and tagged this person named McClure over a year ago, asking for access to custom servers in Apex after it was taken away from me. I even gave them ideas to grow and access my YouTube analytics, but have been ghosted by him whilst he gets promoted. I think it's absolutely insane how gatekept these private lobbies are. Thankfully, we have a partnership with Glytch Gaming and Nades Nation Gaming, who basically allows us to do these private lobbies, and that's super awesome. But it is kind of annoying knowing that, you know, some of these big content creators still cannot get access to this. And like, not even that, like, you don't even need to be a content creator. Surely you should just be able to play private matches like every other game in the entire world would let you do. I still get aggravated because this is the feature that Chad Grenier basically said over 2 years ago that they were working on, and you know, everybody will have access to it eventually, and you would think 2 years later surely that feature is now in the game, but it's just simply not. It's super frustrating, but hopefully maybe soon they will have something for us. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new as always. Thank you so much for watching. watching. Have a great rest of your day. It's Vibrant Eye, only positivity. And until the next time, I'll see you all later, Gators.